Thanks for having me along today. It's going to be a cracking game between these two very experienced teams.
There's Emma King, who's the #1 draft pick for the Bulldogs. She'll start in the ruck against Taylor Harris. And away we go, Game 2 of the Women's 2015 Exhibition Series, live right around Australia on 7, and doesn't that sound fantastic? Opening bounce. Ali Blackburn got the first disposal of the game. Brennan in on top of her. Ball wrapped up underneath Blackburn, and we'll have a secondary bounce.
Nothing unusual from Ali Blackburn there, in amongst it straight away. Her clearance work is fantastic.
Harris and King go at it again. Paddled forward by Loynes. Off the ground went King. Harris commits her body. King comes in over the top, wraps her up, and we'll have another stoppage.
I think they'll be really looking for King to really work hard around the ground. She was fantastic last time and really dominated the ruck.
Pearce taken down again by King. And we saw this in Game 1 early on. Lots of stoppages, lots of repeat.
Interesting move by Michelle Cowan to put Taylor Harris in the ruck early on rather than resist the urge to put her forward.
Blackburn tries to paddle into open space. Kiyoshi tries to run onto it and get it moving for the Dogs. Quick kick towards half forward over the head of O'Connor. Tracking it back is Antonio. Got a little bit of time and space now. She wants to take her man on, does well, uses her speed. Bursts through the middle of the ground. Kicks towards centre half forward. Frederick Traub's the target. Up she goes, couldn't take the grab. At ground level, Melbourne have got the numbers. It spills to Randall. Randall pokes it to Miller. She's got it just outside 50. Hayley Miller, the 19-year-old from WA. Looks for an option inside. Swanson to Blackburn. Confronted by Carney. Dishes it off to Bowers. Squares it up, back to Miller. Fist came from Brennan. In over the top was Ashmore. Got an important touch on Bree White there. And the Dogs managed to hold it up.
Really good movement again there by Melbourne, taking across to Chelsea Randall. Bit of composure. Didn't quite get the kick though, Hayley Miller, to a target.
Arnell to Carney. She just pumps it towards the outer wing. Tracking it is Donnellan. Best of field in the first game in May. Gave it off to Maskell. Now Cramey. Receives a shepherd from Maskell. Gets run down, affected the kick, but Donnellan has got some time and space to gather. The turnover comes. It's Gibson. Kicks towards half forward, but it's all Melbourne. Tracking it back is Antonio. Not much to go to. Kick misses the target. Had a little bit too much on it for White. Ashmore went back. Edwards takes possession, but she's wrapped up, and we'll have another bounce.
We're already seeing, Michelle Cowan's really pushed her team up high, and obviously the Dogs had nothing to kick inside forward to. So that could be a problem for Craig and his team if he can't get deep inside 50.
Bulldogs coached by Craig Starcevich. Melbourne by Michelle Cowan. Carney took it on. Tried to keep it alive to O'Connor, but we'll have a throw in.
And that's exactly what Carney did last time. She really took on the game to the Melbourne Ds and got some good possessions and really made them accountable.
Good physical contact there from Elise O'Day. So Harris takes front position. Now King works to the front. Arnell had a fumble. Brennan harassed by Blackburn.
And already you can kind of see the pressure that these girls are putting themselves under, and it's almost like a grand final because they play so rarely against each other, a couple of games a year, and it's like a grand final out there in those stoppages at the moment.
Third man in over the top is Antonio. Brennan. Slung to ground by Bowers. Arnell went looking for Ashmore. Tries to bust through a tackle and does. Gets it to Loynes. Kick towards half forward. A 2-on-2. It spills to the back. Coming out is Moana Hope. Coming back the other way was Cramey. Did well. Kept her eyes on the football. Hickey. Now Miller. She's taken down. Loynes flips it over the top. Looking for Wuchner. Kiyoshi lurking, waiting for it to spill out. Good strong play from Randall. It does, and it goes Melbourne's way. Green. Handball missed the body of Bowers. Finding space where there was none is Swanson. She comes through the middle of the ground. Kicks to Frederick Taub, who takes a good contested mark. It was 2-on-1. She played on quickly. Gives up some ground, but retains possession. Moorcroft. Antonio. Hooker. Back to Moorcroft, and now Antonio as the Ds work it around the wing position. Dock side of the ground, and the mark's taken by Green. She goes inside 50. Got a couple of targets, and coming out to take a good strong mark on the chest is Kirby Bentley.
That's some great work there by Antonio. She's been really active around the ground at the moment, and she's really bringing into account her basketball skills and that height that she can do.
Bentley to Frederick Taub, who bounces towards goal but just misses to the right-hand side. Opening score of the game goes to Sabrina Frederick Taub, the 18-year-old from WA.
And she's going to be dangerous all game, Frederick Traub. She's got that height, that attack, her strength. And I could already see they're double teaming her with Meg Hutchins just floating in the space in front of her. She's going to need to be a bit composed, but she's going to be a real problem for them today.
Renee Forth's got some time and space around the other side of the ground. High kick towards the wing. Kiochi comes in and puts some pressure on. 21 is Brianna Davey, who's a great story in herself as we head down to Sam Lane.
Yeah, Jace, Brianna Davies actually come into the game with carrying an ankle complaint, so keep your eye on her. You know that she was the Matildas goalkeeper until recently. Also, Moana Hope, a key playmaker for the Dogs. She started forward, but she had a little procedure on her hand only on Monday, so you'll see she's wearing a black guard. That's why.
Great story, Brianna Davey. Missed out on the Women's World Cup with the Matildas this year, which was bitterly disappointing, but she returned to football, and it's great to see her back out there today, playing one of the games that she really loves. And there she is with some strength. Busts through a couple of tackles. Handball fed back to Kiochi. Uses that speed, but runs out of space, and will have a throw in.
I imagine Brianna Davies hasn't just got a foot complaint. She's probably got a selection complaint as well by not going to the World Cup.
It's a great response from her. Didn't drop her head. Went back to footy. Grew up playing Auskick in the ages of 4 to 12 years old. It's a great chance to get back involved in the game that she loves. Kick towards half forward for the Dogs. Spills to the front. Hooker. Bumped off it. Crashing through was Brianna Davey once again. Certainly got some physical presence around the contest. It's fed out to Bowers. She goes down the line with a well-weighted kick to Randall, who just snuck over the back of Kasler. It was a great battle in game one, and Kasler maybe had the honours, but Randall involved early here. The 1-2 with Benici. Melbourne looking for space inside 50. The kick comes in from Cramey. Frederick Taub versus Hutchins. The Bulldogs defender happy to work it to the line, and Edwards makes sure it gets there.
That's going to be a brilliant battle today between Frederick Traub and Meg Hutchins, the experienced campaigner, the kid who's making a debut, former All-Australian under-18 player, and Frederick Traub. I'm really excited by that.
There's Frederick Taub again, this time against King in the ruck. Kasler taken down by Randall with a good strong tackle, and it was a pivotal battle in game one, and Kasler pretty much had the honours against Chelsea Randall, didn't she, which is rare.
She absolutely did, and Randall, I don't think she's happy about being kept to 4 disposals only in that first game, so she'll be one to watch today. She won't take that line down.
She's one of the stars of the women's game, Chelsea Randall. This is Daisy Pearce, who's another fantastic career she's had so far. 4-time best and fairest in the Women's League here in Victoria, and that's another good strong mark taken by Frederick Traub. She's been impressive early.
Yeah, absolutely, and look, every time they're going inside, she's always thereabouts, and look, I think she's going to be a problem for them today, because I don't think they've got anyone apart from Emma King that can match them on height, but they're not going to send their ruck down into their back line, I don't think. So let's keep an eye on how Frederick Traub goes today.
She played basketball, soccer, school footy. She moved to South Freo for university. She's really enjoying her football. She goes back and slots the opening goal of the game. Melbourne have got 1-1. Good start from the D's. Possessions 37-19. Melbourne just controlling the football in the opening 9 minutes. There's a player down behind the play. Keep an eye on that. This play restarts in the middle of the ground.
That looks like Antonio down there. That don't know what happened there, but she
was a long way away from the ball, we'll say that. Back in the middle. Anderson in the pink helmet. Pearce is taken down. Swanson. Kick was smothered off her boot. Coming in was Kirby. Hutchins comes crashing through. Ernst stood tall, took the front on contact, and will have a bounce.
They've pushed Taylor Harris back into the full forward, getting some scoring options there with Tiana Ernst coming into the ruck.
There was Michelle Cowan, Melbourne coach, coaching from the boundary line. Brennan overran it. Pearce took possession and fed it out with some great vision to Swanson. Penetrating kick towards the 50. Blackburn went back with the flight. At ground level, she's wrapped up by Edwards. Umpire says holding the ball, and Hutchins comes away with the advantage. Kick towards Loynes. She's taken down by Cramey. That opens the door for Pearce. Daisy Pearce tumbles a left foot kick towards Bowers. White. She's taken down in a tackle as well. Good pressure here from the Dogs as they look to scramble and hold Melbourne up. They do so successfully.
Already, Meg Hutchins, she's in that battle with Frederick Traub, but her attack and her rebound work on the footy out of their 50 is a big plus for the Dogs today.
Davey roved it well, but she ran out of space. Gang tackle taken to ground.
And I think that's primarily going to be her role today, is that argent barge. She's a big body and she's hard to stop.
King gets the tap. Pearce almost sharked it. Brennan trying to fish it out. It's Arnell. Little toe poke. Again, she's working on ground level, trying to get it out, but she can't do so. So overall possessions 41-21 in favour of Melbourne now.
And that was the same last game too. Melbourne spread's really, really good, and they do get a lot more of the footy across the ground.
Davey went looking for Anderson, couldn't take it with her. O'Day flashed across the screen. Pearce in there trying to farm it out. Edwards has got possession and will have yet another stoppage. At the time in the forward half, it's certainly been one-way traffic so far. The Dogs rather very dangerous on the counter. If they can get the opportunity in space, but it's Pearce inside 50. Great delivery to Harris. She takes it 35 out directly in front.
That's good speed and good strength work from Taylor Harris, and I think she might have been matched up on Talia Randall, the debutante, the 17-year-old. So interesting age match-up there, with Talia normally more being a sort of a tall wing or a ruck.
So Harris kicked a goal in the opening game in May. She launches this one. Looks good off the boot, and it is. The D's have got the opening 2 goals of the game. There's the celebration.
That's terrible.
Well, they've been working on the finer details at training during the week, clearly.
I do hear they're roommates on the camp, so who knows.
Frederick Traub got the tap, but it's taken by Davey. Bulldogs looking to get something going here. Ground level, Wuchner. Gives it to Carney, now back to Wuchner. Good tackle from Cramey, brings her down. Coming through is Miller off half-back. Puts it into the middle of the ground. One-on-one battle. Bruton almost had it, couldn't quite hang on. Socket off the ground by Loynes. Sets up Anderson. Loynes goes back to help out. She's wrapped up by Blackburn. Here's Bentley. Handball missed the body of Frederick Traub. Going back hard for the Dogs was Humphreys, and she's outnumbered. And Bentley. Now Frederick Traub to half forward. White versus Hutchins, and the Dogs got the height advantage there, and Meg takes the easy mark. Spears a kick low. She was looking for Humphreys, but it's cut off. Mark taken by Kirby Bentley.
Bentley's one of the best readers of the footy in the game, and no surprise it was picked off by her.
Kick inside 50. Kasler has got some support. Here's Hutchins, experienced veteran. To Anderson. She's wrapped up. Magnificent tackle by Randall, and it's rewarded. Big and strong, Chelsea Randall.
And you're going to get that from Chelsea Randall all day. Her work rate around the 50 is fantastic, but her pressure inside 50 to win the footy back or keep the footy in their forward 50 is phenomenal. And, you know, for all the kids watching at home, you couldn't go far worse than watching Chelsea Randall and how she goes about her footy. She
was best on the ground in this game last year. State-level basketballer. She works as a footy development officer in WA. This for Melbourne's 3rd goal. And it just trails off to the right-hand side for a minor score.
She's actually been working up in the Pilbara and has been playing with the Newman Tigers. So it's been an interesting, the men that is. So it's been an interesting lead-in for her for this game.
Hutchins Out in front of Kelly Gibson. Dogs looking to get some flow here. Vescio had it and lost it. Pearce picks it off. Another opportunity for the D's here through Maskell. Wants to take on her opponent. Tumbles it inside 50. The mark's taken by Astor O'Connor as we head boundary side. Here's Sam.
Yep, with Britt Benici here. Now, Britt, you've made a good start, first 2 goals. How's it unfolding in your eyes?
Yeah, I think it's unfolding really, really well. The girls are playing their roles, which is exactly what they wanted to do. And everybody's just, we're really linking together as a team, so it's a good start for us.
The sense of occasion for you, it's been a huge build-up. Is it something that you almost have to put aside and just try to play the way you do every other weekend?
Yeah, I came out before anyone was here and had a quick look around so I could kind of take it all in beforehand. But, yeah, it's been really good so far.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
No worries, thank you.
Good ball usage there from the D's, and thanks to both teams for the great access we're going to receive right throughout the afternoon. Ball's with Bruton. Gives it off to O'Day, who launches it long towards 50. Once again, Meg Hutchins, as she did in game 1, just controlling things in the defensive 50 for the Dogs. The 33-year-old playing with the Eastern Devils in Mulgrave here in Melbourne. Runs around Bentley, kicks long to the wing, but once again a 2-on-1. And what a start for Antonio, coming up for her 6th possession.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. She's had a phenomenal year. Played a brilliant state game against Katie Brennan earlier this year and really provided a lot of run off the back half. So great today for her.
Aggressive kick, but it paid off. Hickey gives it to Miller. Awkward bounce. Suits Harris at the top of the goal square, but she's taken down in a good strong tackle. The Dogs have got some numbers. And Bates will come away and find Anderson.
The Dogs need to be a little bit more composed in here, and Melbourne just seem to be a bit more, they're just steadying a bit earlier.
Strong mark from Zielke. It was a bold kick from Antonio, but it almost paid dividends for the D's. Flying high again is Ebony Rose Antonio. What a start. Gives it off to Pearce. Here's O'Day. There's a Bulldog down behind play. It's Emma Humphreys. Ball inside 50. And once again, good ball usage from the D's. Yara Bowers has it.
Sorry, just their confidence that the way they can hit a target every time, and that was the difference last game as well with the Western Bulldogs to Melbourne Football Club, and why Melbourne are probably leading at the moment.
Harris was the target. Offensive pressure came, she couldn't hang on. Kick from Arnell was an awkward one. The Dogs under siege at the moment. Melbourne have got their confidence up. Anderson steps through some traffic. Not much to go to. She spotted one loose target. Here's an opportunity for Vescio. She can give it off or go long herself. She does the latter option. It's bouncing goalward. It's rolling, and it just misses.
Oh, it's almost, I guess, a replica of the last goal or the first goal she kicked in the last game we played, where it just almost got touched on the line. And look, Vescio's exciting, and she's going to offer us plenty of that today.
Yes, Emma Humphreys got taken out with some friendly fire, if there is such a thing. Denellen. Kicks long to the 50. O'Connor over the top with a big fist. Good hands from Zielke. Back to O'Connor. She lines it up from 48 metres. But she misses to the right. Good couple of minutes for the Bulldogs. Just having some play at their end of the ground. Putting a little bit of pressure on the Melbourne defence. Quick kick in. Finds Dana Hooker at left half back. Got the loose player over the top. It's Miller. Melbourne spreading effectively here at Etihad Stadium. Kick to the wing. Pye says free kick.
Melbourne just be able to get that ball out of that inside 50 way too easily, and Craig Starcevich won't be happy with that defence by the Western Bulldogs.
Chelsea Randall, the beneficiary. Kasler. Randall steps around her, runs away. Kiochi tries to run her down. Runs into a bit of trouble, just gets boot to ball. But it affects the kick. Good pressure from Kiochi, and Hutchins once again takes yet another mark.
It wouldn't surprise me if Leah Kasler's injured. She just doesn't seem to be keeping up with Randall at all. She's all over at the moment.
Edwards the switch. But she'll look up and has absolutely nothing to kick to right now. So she just has to run it herself. She's got Ashmore inside to provide some support. Vescio's trying to get across to force a contest, and she does. She receives some late treatment, and that's going to work out pretty well for the Bulldogs because there wasn't much doing at half forward.
Well, you know, we know what Edwards can do. She was part of that team that beat Victoria at the Under-18 National Championships last year with a really strong performance. Her work rate is enormous, and it's fantastic that she took the game on. A young kid with such confidence so early, so it's a fantastic start for her today.
Ebony Rose Antonio is claiming a few scalps in this opening term. Vescio. High ball inside 50. Hope mistimed the run. Ground level, Pearce looking to tidy up. Slap clear to Benici. Quick kick. O'Connor got one hand to it, never a chance to mark. At ground level, coming in was Green. O'Connor in there hard for the Dogs. The umpire will bounce.
It's interesting, the traffic that Mo Hope's got to run into. There's not much space for her down there today.
So quarter time, it's a good opening one for Melbourne as Ernst and O'Connor exchange pleasantries. It's Melbourne 2-2-14, the Bulldogs 2 behinds. Quarter time at Etihad.
And Taylor Harris and Sabrina Frederick-Traub. We took them both to New Zealand last year in 2013, and they're absolute delights to the game. They're going to be the future of this game.
Second term at Etihad Stadium. Melbourne led by 13 points at quarter time in their last meeting, and the Dogs fought their way back. Can they do it again? King wins the tap. Davey wrapped up by Blackburn, trying to get the hands free. Ball spills to Bowers. She dishes off to Swanson. Steps a tackler. Now Cramey. High to the wing out in front of Randall versus Kasler. Awkward bounce for Randall. She goes back in, forces a contest with Davey. And we'll have a bounce right on centre wing.
And already we're seeing the composure that we saw in the first quarter from the Ds. We're seeing that again, and I think the Dogs just need to settle, but Melbourne's putting them under so much pressure, it's very hard for them.
Ernst tried to paddle to space. Running onto it is Carney. Such an engine starter for the Bulldogs in game one. They're looking for her to get her hands on the football here. Pearce wrapped up in a tackle, taken to ground. We'll have another bounce.
Beautiful.
We head boundary side to Sam.
Yeah, guys, what you said is exactly right. Craig Starcevich just told the team, do not panic. It's been a helter-skelter start, but just settle in there. Yes, the defence is under pressure, but you're doing the right things, and as long as you do, the game will turn. He was really stressing, do not panic. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, for all the dominance, it's only a 2-goal margin.
Absolutely. And they're doing a really good job of trying to get it back here, and both teams won't give up.
Swanson to Donnellan. So good in game one. Avoids the tackler, goes to the wing. Kiochi at the back, tracks it back. Some numbers here for the Dogs. It's Ashmore. Looks inboard, looking for Brennan. Needs to get involved in the game. Couldn't quite take the mark. Does well at ground level, gives it to Gibson, but her kick misses the target. She was looking for O'Connor. It's picked off. Opens the door for Bruton. She gets a bad bounce as well. Astor O'Connor. Handball floats on Edwards. They give it up again. Here's Antonio, and the moment's lost for the Dogs. Antonio towards half forward. Good use of the body and a clever mark taken by Bree White. White, awkward looking kick off the instep. Bentley couldn't take it. Edwards under some pressure now. She's confronted by Bruton. Frederick-Traub coming the other way. Harris there as well. Umpire says it's a throw, illegal disposal, and it's going to be a free kick to Melbourne. It's going to Taylor Harris. 35 out directly in front and well within range.
We might just be seeing a bit of a changing of the guard, actually, with the young kids coming through in the forward line of Melbourne. You know, and then Antonio, her rebound from here is just phenomenal again. So she might be a bit of a big game player.
Harris for a second goal. Once again launches everything into it, but on this occasion it fades right for a minor score.
And no doubt at some stage we're going to see a bit of a specky from Taylor Harris, like she practiced over Lingy last night. I saw her at the football in the half-time.
She's got a great leap on her, doesn't she?
She does.
Hutchins goes long. Brennan's the target. She takes the mark. Such a critical player, Katie Brennan. We haven't seen much of her so far in the game. But one of the real stars for the Bulldogs. If she can get up and going, she'll give them enormous drive. Wuchner down the line. Looking for fourth. She's got the grab. So the Dogs just looking for some meaningful possession. There's some chains of possession linking up. Been few and far between so far as fourth goes to half forward. Blackburn well positioned. She picks it off. Lee Blackburn. Aggressive kick. Bounces off Randall. Opens the door now for Bowers, and she's away. She's got some space. Kiara Bowers runs to 50. Floats a handball over the top to Bentley. Steps inside the tackler. Now Frederick-Traub could go over the top. Just spotted Harris at the last minute. But she puts it through nonetheless. And the D's have got another. It's just the precise disposal of Melbourne at the moment. They're out playing the Bulldogs, have just been a bit untidy and giving the ball back.
Yeah, and they're up. Their confidence is there, and they're just taking the game on, and their pressure's been relentless.
It's going to be a free kick, and it's going the way of the D's for a centre square infringement. It's coming to Tiana Ernst. Ernst, the 27-year-old, currently playing her footy at Diamond Creek. Here's Randall, who's really having an influence in this game. Goes to Pearce. Good mark out in front of her face, despite the pressure from Brennan. Pearce inside 50. Frederick Torr with her size again. Couldn't quite bring it down. But at ground level, she wins the football. Gives it off to White. She stripped of it. Harris lurking. Dogs defence under enormous pressure. Arnell did well. Ashmore tries to fend off White. Got the hands free. And delivered the football to Carney as we head down to Sam. In fact, we head down to Michelle Cowan. Michelle, thanks for your time on the boundary line. You must be very pleased with what you're seeing.
Yeah, just really happy with the effort that the girls have brought today. So they've been really competitive and yeah, it's been really good.
The forwards in particular, Frederick Traub and Taylor Harris, causing all sorts of match-up problems for the Dogs at the moment.
Yeah, early in the game, really happy with the movement the girls are providing in the forward line. So they're constantly on the move, and Taylor Harris and yeah, Sabrina's looking really dangerous up there for us.
And the spread and the ball use has been really precise. It must be very pleasing.
Yeah, real key focus for us is to try and spread their defence throughout the whole ground, and Etihad's a great track to do that on. So happy with the way that we started. We just got to maintain this pressure, but it's been really good.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Free kick. Pye's going to bring it back, and it's going the way of Melbourne once again. It's going to Cara Donnellan.
Was that Kelly Marie Gibson involved in that one again? She likes a bit of a push and shove, Kelly. We saw that in the first game.
Donnellan inside 50. Harris over the top, or Frederick Traub. Once again, their tall towers doing the job.
Just take your pick.
And Sabrina Frederick Traub will go back for goal number 3.
She's been doing a lot of work this year on her strength, but she's also been working with an athletics coach for the past sort of 8 weeks to work on her sprints, and she's been fantastic over the first 20 metres. Maybe not quite so good over 100, but the 20 she's been great, and she's really working on that space and using that strength well today.
3-time Youth Girl All-Australian. Kick on its way for goal number 3. She's got it. So 3 goals to Sabrina Frederick Traub, 18-year-old, playing previously at the Peel Thunderbirds, and as I mentioned, she moved to Fremantle to go to university, so she's now playing with South Freo. She's putting on a clinic in this opening half. Pearce, ground level. Once again, right place, right time, Daisy Pearce.
It's interesting there, Emma Carney hasn't had a lot of the footy, and she was their main driver last game, so hard work for her at the moment. She's really going to have to step it up.
Yeah, just the 5 possessions. In fact, most of the key playmakers for the Dogs, they're real engine starters. Anderson and Carney and Brennan just yet to really impact the game.
Yeah, look, Brennan's really got to get into the game. When she's up and she's moving, she really ignites her team. So we want a bit more from her.
Kasler. Here's Anderson. Head down over the football. Burrowing in, but can't extract it. So 25 points the margin midway through the second term here at Etihad Stadium. The Dogs with it all to do. Need to get a little bit of confidence and belief here. Loins. They come in over the top of her Benici, number 8 there. Brittany Benici, who Sam spoke to a little earlier in the first quarter, the 18-year-old. Some Auburn Spurs, and now playing with the St Kilda Sharks. Loins puts her body in. Swanson going the other way, somehow emerges with the football, then he has it stripped. It spills out towards Ashmore. Uses her speed, gets away from Bruton, then the football gets away from her. Keeps it in front of herself and regathers. Well done. Ashmore towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1. O'Connor outnumbered, and Ebony Rose Antonio marks. Dishes off to Pearce. Gets the hands free back to Antonio. The Bulldogs are stepping up their intensity. Katie Loins is leading from the front. You can see in the last couple of minutes she's starting to really throw her body around.
Absolutely, as is Astra O'Connor. She not sure if she was actually going for the ball or the player then, but she put so much pressure on them, and her second and third efforts were fantastic, and really Melbourne were really feeling that pressure.
Some of the senior players in this Bulldogs side starting to sense the urgency here. This game slipping away from them early on. Benici stripped of it. Blackburn's handball. Find Anderson. Just gets boot to ball. It ricochets to Carney. She puts it out in front of Arnell. Pokes it down the line. One-on-one contest. Good effort from Forth to at least halve it. Get it to ground. Maskell wrapped up.
That's a super effort by Forth there to keep the footy locked in there.
Kelly Gibson wrapped up as well. Umpires come in and call for a bounce. And we should mention the umpires today. Eleni Luftus, Libby Tuvey and Annie Mirabile. Wonderful occasion for them as well. Three of our great young emerging women's umpires. Emma Humphreys, quick kick inside 50. Hope couldn't take possession. Carney in there working hard. Ebony Rose Antonio on top of her. We'll have another bounce.
And all of
Head
our
down to Sam. Sam, you down there?
Yes, I am. This is incredible access, guys. I'm with Katie Brennan, who's a key playmaker for the Bulldogs. Katie, it's not the start you would have liked.
Yeah, not at the moment. We're trying to edge our way back into the game at this stage. They're just coming at us, so I think we need to hold possession and really slow it down.
It's a pretty tense feeling over here on your bench. I think that's why we're here, but yeah, it's what's Craig Starcevich pushing with you?
So he's just telling us again just to slow it down and to really make sure of our kicks and our handboards, so just to slow down our decision making and yeah, kind of get the footy back on our terms.
You've got a couple of messages here just on your wrist. Tell us about them and maybe even show them to us if you can.
Yep, so just inches and intensity. So we've talked throughout the last couple of days in camp that the game's made up by inches. It's not just the last quarter or, you know, the third quarter being the premiership quarter. So inch by inch we need to keep pushing and really lift our intensity. So
thanks for your time, Katie. Good luck.
Melbourne with numbers around the football again. Here's Loynes trying to lift her team. Bumped off the football. Good body pressure from Benici, who then piles in on top. The Dogs trying to wrangle free, trying to get something going. But Melbourne doing such a great job at just holding them in. King tried to get it to Loynes. Ashmore trying to keep it alive. Over it runs.
And yeah, you have a look at the disposals, 101 to 75. I mean, Melbourne are just using the ball a lot and obviously have the ball a lot, which the Bulldogs don't. So they're doing a great job of keeping it off the Bulldogs at the moment. But to Bulldogs' credit, they're really stalling in that midfield section.
Loynes again. O'Day dropped the mark. Goes back and fetches it herself. Good overlap run now from Miller, who takes off through the back edge of the square, puts it in front of Harris. One-on-one with O'Connor. Harris kept her feet, did well. To a one-on-one. It's Randall versus Kasler. Randall gets to the football first, turns inside, works the angle beautifully and kicks the goal. Super goal this from Chelsea Randall. Used her speed and ran the angle really smart.
Oh, she absolutely did. And Melbourne have worked this year really on their fitness. And even despite winning the last game, they wanted to push them more and push them more. And everyone's done that little bit extra this year. And that's where, or the last few months. And that's where you can see Chelsea Randall really moving away from Kasler there. First 5 goals of the game to Melbourne. Antonio, Hooker and Pearce spoiled each other. Ashmore confronted, wrapped up, taken down. Hutchins, in fact, goes down hard. Kiochi. Edwards in over the top, number 9 for the Dogs. Meg Hutchins still down behind the play. Copped a heavy shot there.
Just doesn't seem like the Dogs have got a key target up forward. They've got Mo playing really deep, and then you've got Katie Brennan, who's really not firing at the moment. So we need, I think Craig's going to need to really orchestrate something, some kind of presence up across their half-forward line. Accidental head clash with Daisy Pearce, and Meg Hutchins will come off for some treatment to that right cheek. Let's head down to Sam.
Yep, down here with the star of the first half, Sabrina Frederick-Traub. Well, a dream start for you and also for the team.
Yeah, I mean, kicking a few goals, that's what I was drafted for, so I've got to do it, basically.
And it was mentioned in the coverage, you've been trying to tune up your athletic side of things. You've been working especially with a coach?
Yeah, I've been doing some sprint training, just getting those 20-metre sprints out quickly so I can beat my opponent.
It's paying off right now.
Yeah, I mean, long work, so yeah, it's been good.
And back it up in the second half and finish with 6?
Definitely, I can do it.
Watch out for that.
Kiyochi taken over the line.
Kyochi's really struggling to get into the game as well. I mean, she was quite good and had 17 disposals last game. She's only had 2 tackles so far. She hasn't had any sort of attacking play yet. It's all been defence.
Yeah, they've done a great job, haven't they, Melbourne, at just shutting down the key playmakers, Shiloh.
Yeah, look, there's not been a lot of productivity from the Dogs. Like, they're just really stuck for space. Their runners like Caitlin Ashmore just can't get free. They're fumbling. They're a bit messy.
Ernst in the ruck. Arnell taken down. As we approach the 15-minute mark of the second term, can the Dogs find a spark? Randall against Ernst. Randall at ground level. Backed up and won the football. High kick. Spills to fourth. Handballs to the voice of Davey, who comes through and crashes through Daisy Pearce. It spills to Brennan. Look at that enormous pressure again from the D's. Every time a Bulldogs player grabs it, she's confronted by 2 or 3 opponents and taken down. Squirts at the back. Anderson. She kicks wide. Puts it out in front of Humphreys. Paid the mark.
Yeah, look, Brennan actually burnt fourth out there. She was out wide, and they would have been. They could have come out the fat side then, but didn't hit her up.
Spills over the back of the contest. Vescio versus Blackburn. Vescio opens the door. Here's a chance for Ashmore. Snaps goalward. Hope in best position. Hickey over the front. Fist it to the boundary line, and it trickles out ahead of Jessica Wushner. So maybe a chance here for the Bulldogs to get something going.
It's probably their best opportunity for the game so far. I mean, they've got Jess Wushner, who's actually doing quite well possession-wise. They've got Mo Hope, who's just going to be sweating on getting a goal. She's currently leading the VWFL with goal kicking, and that's Katie Brennan slotting a goal and finally injecting herself into the game. So great stuff.
So we spoke of Katie Brennan being one of those Bulldogs players who needed to get busy and impact the contest, and a beautiful right foot snap there.
Absolutely, should be really happy with that goal and start pushing the Western Bulldogs and really forcing the hand of Melbourne.
Important few minutes remaining here in this second term for the Dogs. Can they springboard off that confidence? Cramey, beautiful kick, great vision, sets up Swanson. She'll go to a one-on-one inside 50. Tracking it back is Yelke. Randall did a fantastic job to gather that half volley and keep it under control. Kasler comes in over the top. An umpire will bounce.
Oh, that's just so typical of Chelsea Randall. You know, she's in a 1-on-2 scenario and she still manages to keep the footy herself.
Randall slaps it down. Carney's kick was affected by the tackle. Ashmore got the hands free to Davey. She tumbles towards the wing and finds Wushner. Chance for a late one here for the Dogs. Dangerous kick from Wuchner. Sets up Brennan. Strong in the body. Managed to get the handball free. Arnell goes to ground. She's taken in a tackle. And again, that little moment's lost. The Bulldogs a few times have had the door half ajar, but just have missed their targets.
Absolutely. Jess Wushner had an opportunity there, and she just probably took the wrong decision by kicking it to a contest.
Swanson goes to the city side of the ground. Zielke went early. Wide at the back, read it well. Umpire said it was a throw.
Taylor Harris has gone a little bit quiet in the game, and Craig's put Brianna Davey onto her, so we'll see how that matchup goes.
Kiyochi, first touch, goes to Vescio, and she gets a free kick. So a late chance here for the Bulldogs to set up again inside 50. The leads come, and they're ignored. Now the double lead from Brennan. Good football from the Dogs. Their forwards let out, turned around, led back. Brennan did the double lead and got it the second time.
Yeah, it's good to see Katie Brennan working really hard. She obviously came to the bench, had a breather, but she's actually out there role modelling exactly what she said they needed to do. So, you know, when she fires, she ignites her whole team.
So Katie Brennan with a critical kick as we close in on half-time. The 22-year-old, originally from the Logan City Cobras, started out in Auskick in Queensland, multiple All-Australian, kicked 4 goals in Darebin's 2014 flag. She steps up from 40 metres out, kick on its way. Has it got the legs? It has. The Dogs get back-to-back goals and they're back in the game. Katie Brennan gets her second. And the Doggies will head to half-time feeling much better about things.
Yeah, I think Katie's going to have to lead her team that way. As I said before, Craig's going to need a key presence up there and across their half-forward line, and Katie's certainly gotten on the field and bringing that work rate for her teammates.
As a former Queenslander, she's really used to being that one who has to drive it.
Half-time at Etihad Stadium, a couple of late goals gives the Bulldogs some hope and some belief. Melbourne 5-3-33, the Western Bulldogs 2-2-14. We hope you're enjoying Game 2 of our 2015 Women's Exhibition Series live around Australia on 7. Key one, disposal efficiency, 71% Melbourne, 49% the Bulldogs, making a big impact.
And that was always going to be the case with the sort of pressure that Melbourne's putting on, and the Dogs have no space out there at all, and Craig's really going to have to encourage an outside game today.
Third term underway at Etihad Stadium. Hope you're enjoying it live around the country on 7. Carney kicks towards the wing. Here's some open space now for the Bulldogs. Wuchner gets there first. Bangs it on the boot, gains some territory around the line, and it beats Blackburn over and out.
Pretty clever kick there by Jess Wuchner. Just pushed up the line, didn't have too many options and just ran it over. I mean, she's a former Tasmanian who's moved to Western Australia as well, so hello to the Clarence Football Club out there if they're listening. They've got 2 Tasmanians out there today.
Great to see. A lot of friends and family watching around the country, I'm sure, for all these players and all their football clubs. Carney, kick picked off. Pearce has been outstanding. Just controlled the game across half-back. She goes to Blackburn. She wants to bring it inboard. She's got to run it. Benici can get it and go. Looks up. The leads come. Harris comes storming out. Good, courageous mark taken by Ziocki. Her kick pitches just in front of Ashmore. Randall tries to run her down. Does so successfully. Does enough to get it to the line as we head boundary side. Here's Sam.
Yes, well, Jace, you'll see a few patched-up Bulldogs out there. Meg Hutchins, you saw come to the bench very late, just before half-time. She's now got a big patch on her face. Ditto Kelly Gibson, who's still on the sideline. She came off with the blood rule. So important to have Meg Hutchins there to stop the might of the Melbourne forward line. Astor O'Connor, though, is a worry. She's off. She came off before half-time with a lower leg injury. That's a real worry for the Bulldogs, given she's such a key player. And Emma Humphries, who was crunched early in the game, she's still on the sidelines. Melbourne, on the other hand, have a clean bill of health.
Thanks, Sam. So the ball inside 50. Randall got the fist. Harris wrapped up. We'll have another bounce.
And yeah, look, you know, I guess that's probably the outcome of so much pressure from Melbourne. There's a lot of inside work there, a lot of collision footy in there, and hopefully those girls get back on the park today.
Randall again. Tries to get it out into open space. Blackburn missed the handball. Goes back and fetches the footy herself. Gives it off to Pearce. Sweeps it back to Maskell. She's dispossessed by Vescio. Pearce, she's harassed out of it. Brennan, now it opens up for the Bulldogs. Wuchner looking for an option. Goes down the line towards Mo Hope, who gathers it beautifully despite the hand problem. She's wrapped up, dispossessed and gone. Opportunities have been few and far between for the Bulldogs forwards this afternoon. Kick to the wing. Ernst did well. Wrenched the ball free. Goes towards half forward. Kasler bowls over her opponent. Bates. Carney taken high. The Dogs scrapping early in this third term. You can see they're trying to open it up. They're switching it wide. On this occasion, Forth did well. Went back and won the football. Got it to Hutchins. But her kick floats wide. Out of bounds on the full.
You can see they're really trying to slow it down, but they haven't actually increased their skill level of hitting targets. So they've really got to make sure if they're slowing it down, they're really nailing their kicks.
It's been relentless pressure from the D's. Pearce towards half forward. Randall flies over the top, then chases the ball at ground level. Once again, the pressure. Look at the numbers around the ball for Melbourne.
Yeah, look, and there's just no space. I'd like to see Moana Hope come up a little bit higher, actually. We know she does some freaky things, so we need to get her in the game a little bit more because she can change it.
Blackburn tracks the ball at ground level. O'Day wins the football, gives it to Donnellan. She's taken down in a tackle by Forth. Umpire said no chance to get rid of it. There is Mo Hope. Really put on a show at the MCG earlier in the year. Some very exciting football, but just starved of opportunities so far this afternoon.
It was Mo Hope, not No Hope, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mo Hope. Blackburn. Good penetrating kick to Cramey. She's taken down off her kick, and Randall can tidy it up. Hangs it up. Tough one for Loynes. Pearce tries to spin out of trouble. Finds some space where there was none. Well played, Daisy Pearce. Outstanding football. Vescio with a vigorous thump over the top. Swanson tidies it up, but her handball misses the body. Tracking it back is Maskell. And once again, the D's have got the answers. Frederick Traub uses her size. Gives it off to Benici, who will hold at 50. It's great football from Antonio coming through. Sweeping it forward once again.
Benici
wants to square it up to Blackburn. Dogs, plenty of numbers back inside 50, as you can see, trying to fill those gaps, but somehow sneaking out to the side is Bree White. She chips it over the top to Bentley, and that's a really well-worked entry from Melbourne.
And that's exactly what the Dogs aren't doing, when they go inside 50, composed, they're not looking for a free option. Every kick is under pressure, and the D's can just orchestrate that in their forward half.
So Kirby Bentley, former netballer, played with the West Coast Fever, was a mentor at the Wirrapunda Foundation. Kirby Bentley Cup in WA for young girls. So she gives back to the community. And here she gives Melbourne another goal. First blood in the third term for the D's. So Kirby Bentley, three-time All-Australian, and she's a fly-in, fly-out mining worker in drill and blast. She's got an interesting background.
Yeah, she does, and she's certainly, she's flown in between Perth and Melbourne this year to play in both states. She's so keen for her footy.
Free kick going to the Dogs. Once again, looking for some drive here. This is Caitlin Ashmore. Goes looking for Brennan, just a little bit too much on the kick. Slapped away from Antonio. Maybe a chance now ground level for Carney. She's bumped off at Donnellan. Good strong tackle from Brennan. She goes in over the top, holds it in, and gives the Dogs another opportunity. 25 metres out from their goal.
Katie Brennan probably a little bit lucky not to give away the free there over the shoulder.
O'Connor against Ernst. Again, Brennan trying to lift her team. Vigorous play. This time she is penalised. Free kick going to Donnellan. As we head boundary side and welcome Craig Starcevich. Craig, thanks for your time.
No worries, guys.
Mate, what was the message at half-time?
Just to hang in there, really, more than anything else. We arrested the flow there a bit at the end of the second quarter by kicking a couple, but really hard work. But to the girls' credit, they hung in there and got a couple of late goals.
A number of your major playmakers, Kiochi and Hope, how are you going to try and work them into the game?
Yeah, good question. We're throwing the team around a bit. Obviously, we need a little bit of leg speed in a few areas, but yeah, that's a bit of a concern for us, but we'll keep rotating and trying things and try and get those players into the game.
Those couple of late goals to Katie Brennan must have given your side a really great boost heading into half-time.
Yeah, it's fantastic leadership by Katie. She has worked really, really hard today to stay in the contest and really helped us there at the back end of the quarter to get a bit of scoreboard pressure back on the opposition.
The intensity and the efforts there from your guys, it's just about execution, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah, and probably take the game on and run, which is hard to do when the opposition have really taken it up to you. But I think we're slowly starting to get back into the game, and a credit to the girls' persistence.
We appreciate your time. Good luck for the rest of the afternoon.
Good on you, thank you.
Good strong mark taken by Wuchner. She'll kick from right on 50, the distance beyond her, so she wants to pop it up to Moana Hope. Good fist away from Hickey. Here is Kiochi, tight on the boundary line, squares it up, great vision, finds Brennan. And Katie will go back to kick for goal number 3.
It's really smart play there, and it all started back with Jess Wuchner. We're taking that really good mark, and it's great that Kiochi's trying to get into the game as the captain and really had good vision, as you said, being able to centre that kick for Katie Brennan. This should be bread and butter for her.
And again, we see the value of Moana Hope. She draws a crowd, gives Kiochi a reference point to front and centre.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, she is a bit of a target there because she is so dangerous. She's one of the hardest players to ever match up on. If you coach against her or play against her, she's really, really difficult to play on or coach against. So, no surprise.
Critical kick for Brennan. She seizes the moment, gets her third. Astor O'Connor down boundary side. Sam, update on her condition?
It's bad news, unfortunately, Jace. Astor O'Connor's day is done. That lower leg injury we've talked about has got her out of the game. Hannah Scott is in her place, who was a late call-up for Maddie Collier earlier in the week.
Bad news there for the Dogs. Astor, such an important part of this side. Such a strong figure in this team. Bruton stripped of it. Once again, you can sense the Dogs just trying to lift here. Hutchins receives a free kick. Wants to move it on quickly. Wuchner breaks to space, and she's having an influence in this third term, just creating some run and spread.
She's been great between the 250s, really. She's doing some really hard work and has really improved her fitness since moving to Perth.
Great mark by Swanson, beats Anderson one-on-one. Brings it inboard. Harris, awkward bounce, beats Bates as well. Pearce floats across the contest. Harris, White, Bowers. Now Maskell. Run down, good tackle from behind. That's the sort of defensive pressure the Dogs need. That's Kelly Gibson. Once again, wants to move it on quickly, and once again it's Wuchner creating space. She goes down the line to fourth. The Dogs starting to get out and open up this game a little bit now. Inside 50 on the bounce to Hope. She'll track it back. Mo Hope in the pocket. Squares it up once again to Brennan.
Unselfish play there by Moana Hope, and that's fantastic. I thought, you know, whether she's going to have a shot, because that is what Moana Hope can do. She can kick those freaky goals from against the boundary, but no, disciplined play, and hits up Katie Brennan, who obviously is their goal kicker today.
So once again, we see the value of Moana Hope just giving them a target, a reference point. Carbon copy play, brings it inboard. Brennan on the end of it, and a chance to kick for goal number 4.
And as mentioned before, it's about having multiple options. And if you've only got that one option in Hope, then it makes it pretty easy for Melbourne to defend against that. So well done to the Western Bulldogs and Katie Brennan.
8th touch for Brennan coming up. For goal number 4, she's got it. Dogs fight back. For the first time in the game, the tables have turned, and suddenly Melbourne have a player that they're concerned about.
Yeah, I think the Dogs have got a sniff here, and they're up and about.
Harris, nice tap, well read by Pearce. Up to the D's now to respond and quash this resistance. Bowers, nice kick, finds Hooker. Towards half forward, Benici in best position. Good contest from Bates, got it to ground level. Here's a chance for Humphrey, she's got speed. One-on-one with Hooker. Hooker did well, took the football, left her behind. Kicks towards Randall, cuts it off, beats Harris. Again, the Doggies just having some little one-on-one victories here that they're building off. Margin 13 points. Randall finds Hannah Scott. Subbed into the game for Astor O'Connor. To half forward, and Vescio bobs up, takes the mark, wants to move it on quickly to a one-on-one. Moana Hope against Hickey. Support arrives for the Dogs. Hickey's wrapped up. They pile it on top. Bulldogs fans wanting a free kick, none forthcoming, and we'll have another bounce.
Very lucky to get away with not dropping the ball there. She had good three players on it. Now Mo Hope and Mel Hickey are having a bit to say about it.
Bowers went up, got the tap. Again, they pile it on top. Brennan. Let's sock it into open space. Carney coming in one direction. White coming the other. Neither flinched.
It's great to see the numbers at the contest. The Dogs, you know, they weren't there earlier at the contest, and they're outnumbering them, and they're getting some results.
Harris got the tap. Miller gets it on the boot quickly. Chance for Hutchins. Taken down by Bruton. Green got boot to ball. Tracking it back is Zielke. She's got numbers again. It's Wuchner attacking down that city side of the ground. It's working for them repeatedly. Wuchner looks up, goes inside 50. Through the hands of Gibson. It's picked up by Hope, who snaps at goal and just misses. But things starting to happen for the Dogs.
You see Melbourne's really pushed the whole way up the field, really trying to put the pressure on the Dogs. And Wuchner's done a good job there, even though it was an absolute shocker that just kicked in.
12-point game. The Doggies are coming. Long ball outside 50. Vescio, one-on-one with Benici. Harris in there as well. We're wrapped up as we head down to Sam.
Yeah, I'm with Kobe Stevens of Western Bulldogs men's team fame. Kobe, have you been exposed to much women's footy?
I actually haven't, to tell you the truth, but I've been loving the last couple of days, spending some time with the girls. They're so passionate and they just love playing footy, so it's good. What's
been your role? They're like sponges, I gather, when they're around the elite setting that you're in for normal. What kind of things have you been teaching them?
Oh, look, I've just been helping out the coaches and been a shoulder to lean on. The girls have had so many good questions about our game, and whatever help I can give them, whether it's in the midfield or something like that, it's just, just a shoulder to lean on and just a lot of questions they can ask. It's been good.
We better get back to the action.
Thanks to Kobe and Sam. A 50-metre penalty, as you saw, brings Caitlin Ashmore within range. She'll kick from 20 metres out, pretty much directly in front, to make it a 6-point game.
And Caitlin Ashmore's had a really good game, and it's actually good reward, I think, for her effort. She's got 11 disposals so far, 3 tackles. So she's been doing a super job in that back line. So now she's been moved forward.
She misses. So Caitlin Ashmore playing her footy at Melbourne Uni. Kick in. Here's a chance for the Dogs again. It's Gibson. Dishes it off. Edwards off a step. Flying over the top. Hope at the back. It was a good crunch of the pack by Arnell, but it's a free kick to Melbourne. Suddenly their defence under enormous pressure.
I really like seeing Kelly Gibson come into that. She's really up now. She's a hard player and she's an intensity player, so it's great to see her involved.
Bentley takes the mark. Steps around Ashmore. Cool, calm and collected. She delivers it. Lace out to Hayley Miller. Goes inboard to White. White towards half forward. Dana Hook at the target. Bates tracks it for the Dogs. Bentley comes across, lays body on her. Tracking it now is Bruton for Melbourne. In under there. Ashmore over the top of her, and we'll have another bounce.
Melbourne really need to just get that composure back. They seem to have lost a bit. They're a bit frazzled with the physicality of the Western Bulldogs. They've come out, and Gibson and a few of the girls, a few hip and shoulders here and there, and a couple of little stray fists.
So Taylor Harris has gone out of this game a little bit. It looks like Michelle's moved her up onto the footy to get her back involved, and we see Brianna Davey now marking up on Frederick Traub. So a good contest down there. Let's keep an eye on how that travels.
Some similarities to game one in this series, where Melbourne got out to a handy lead and the Dogs came at them, had their chances in the last quarter to pinch it. They're edging ever closer here. It's an 11-point game. Pearce hoisted high towards half forward. Randall and Frederick Traub. The ball finds the line. Dying stages of the third term. It's been a good one for the Bulldogs. 2-1 and close the gap to 11 points. King tried to get it to the front of the contest and Loynes. It's taken by Harris. Hoisted inside 50 to a 2-on-2. Davey provides some support. Slaps it to Zelke. Went one way, back the other. Finds Caitlin Edwards. "19-year-old from East Fremantle. Kicks towards the wing. Vescio arrives late. Miller gets crunched in that contest with Gibson. Pearce uses the football well to Bruton. Can give it over the top to Blackburn. Off a step from 40 metres out. Randall tracks it back. Awkward bounce for she and Kasler. It's still alive. Randall gets it. Can't get boot to ball. Good pressure from the Dogs. Bates. It's still there for Melbourne. Support arrives for the Bulldogs, and we'll have another bounce. Frederick Traub in the ruck against King. Blackburn trying to farm it out. Goes to Loynes, who bangs it on the boot. Only as far as Del Pos. Dropped the mark. By then the pressure had arrived. And the moment's lost for Melbourne. Awkward looking handball. Loynes again just attacks it hard. Straight lines the football. Edwards taken down. Coming through is Arnell. Gibson once again cops a high one. She might be developing into the Joel Selwood of women's footy. Just comes out pre-bandaged to save time. She goes short. Finds Hannah Scott. Closing in on three-quarter time. High kick to the wing. Plenty of space over the back of the contest. But Melbourne have got the numbers. Hooker. Slung as she kicked it. And Loynes takes the mark. Needs to move it on quickly. Must go long and deep now. Time ticking away in the third. Gibson does just that, but the kick, no good. Picked off by Pearce. She'll settle it down to Cramey. Frederick Traub the target. Randall arrives late, can't impact the contest. And it's three-quarter time at Etihad Stadium. A good quarter from the Bulldogs. They're back in the game. It's Melbourne 6-3-39. The Western Bulldogs 4-4-28. Game 2 of the Women's 2015 Exhibition Series live around the country on 7.
You learn more about what you're made of.
We start the final term at Etihad Stadium. The first ever women's game telecast around the country on 7. And it's Melbourne who lead and turn for home with an 11-point advantage. Ashmore flips it back to fourth. She's run down by Randall. Kasler under pressure, finds Zelke. Goes back toward Davey, who looks like she's got the job on Frederick Traub. Davey just keeps it in front of herself, plays the percentages and gets it to the line.
You see Melbourne's intensity is lifted straight away. They were probably happy to go to that three-quarter time break because the Western Bulldogs definitely had the momentum.
King wins the tap. Down into the path of Davey, who just puts her head down and looks to bullet through the traffic. Bowers with a strong tackle. Bruton in there as well. Pearce claiming the free kick. Umpire will bounce.
And Pearce has been their real ball winner for Melbourne. All the others they're sort of lower in their numbers, but you know, if the Dogs can stop Pearce, they might be in with a chance. 27 possessions for Daisy Pearce, the next best 14. Hutchins tracks it to the line. We'll have another throw in. Loynes has had 14 for the Dogs. Wushner and Ashmore 13 apiece. Pearce, as I mentioned, 27 possessions. Antonio 14, Blackburn 12, and O'Day 11. Randall tries to slap it on. Hutchins in best position. Off a step, a high ball. It's a 2-on-1. Ashmore's got to go for the Dogs, and she does. Kiyochi wants to try and get into the game in this last term with her electrifying speed, and we'll have another throw in.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of keeping in that forward zone at the moment, the Melbourne D's, putting the pressure back on the Western Bulldogs, not letting them get away with anything.
Ernst at the front of the tap. Fourth. Affected by the tackle. Good pick up by Loynes, who's been inspirational. She's been trying to lift the Dogs all afternoon. Puts it out in front of Gibson. Can flip it over the top to Brennan. Back to Gibson. Chance now for the Dogs. She looks inside 50. Here's Moana Hope on the lead. Couldn't quite. Good pressure from Hickey. Hope goes back, lays a tackle. Still alive here for the Dogs. Gibson, she's run down from behind. Cramey gets boot to ball. Pearce a fumble. Loins once again. King. Kiyochi. She goes short and finds Ashmore at 50. Looks up. Goes to the top of the square. Vescio the target. Clears the contest. Cramey in best position. And she sees off the danger.
I like the Dogs forward line open like that with lots of space around both Vescio and Moana Hope.
Edwards forces a contest. It spills to the back. Edwards again comes in, puts some pressure on Swanson. Green in there as well for Melbourne.
Edwards has had a handy game today. Just a pressure around the ball has been sensational.
Burns got the tap. Blackburn. Desperation from fourth to keep it alive. Emma Carney just has not been able to break the shackles today. Just the 8 touches for Emma. She had 14 in the opening game and was a real live wire. Still plenty of time to impact this game. Fourth slaps it on, gains a bit of territory as we head down to Sam.
Yep, guys, just a quick one here with Lauren Arnell, who's not far from going back on. Lauren, you guys absolutely believe you're still in this.
Yeah, we sure do. It's all about belief today, and you can see over the second and third quarter we've put the pressure back on them, and we're in with every chance here. We believe that we can win this.
Did Craig actually say in the huddle just at three-quarter time that you have won the last 40 minutes of footy?
Yeah, absolutely, and we know that we have. It's just a matter of converting our opportunities now, which we've been able to do, and now we just need to continue to pile on the pressure.
Thanks for that, and good luck.
Thank you.
Another stoppage, another opportunity for the Dogs. It's through the hands of fourth. Green in there on the bottom of that pack. She gets one in the back and will take a free kick. Brianna Green, 18-year-old from East Fremantle, captain of the WA youth girls team. All-Australian at under-16s. Currently enjoying a gap year. Why not? Go and play a bit of footy at Etihad Stadium in your time off. Bowers couldn't quite collect. King. Now Bates. Just gets boot to ball. Chance for Wushner. Coming through as fourth. Good strong tackle there from Del Pos. So the Dogs looking to muster another final term comeback. Free kick for a ruck infringement. Holding in the ruck. It's going to Emma King. Melbourne have got one back in defence. Hutchins goes to Brennan. Loins at the back, attack the contest. Coming the other way was Donnellan.
And Donnellan's been really quiet today. I think she's been thereabouts, but, you know, certainly not been able to be released like she has in previous games.
She was so dynamic in the game one of this series. Swanson, quick hands to Ernst, who throws it on the boot. Randall takes the mark. So the Melbourne defence holding up under sustained pressure early in this final term. Randall goes towards Harris. Good strong mark. Great hands from Taylor Harris. Thumping kick towards 50. Frederick Traub outnumbered. It spills to ground level. Swanson, open goal, beckons, bounces it, and just misses.
It's beautiful front and centre work there from Emma Swanson. And she's been a little bit quiet considering she had such a good game last game. We were expecting a little bit more from her today, but she's still got a good 25 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go.
11 points the margin. Hutchins flies from behind, couldn't impact the contest. Harris, kick smothered off her boot. Bruton, who's worked her way into the game as the ball spills over and out. Here's Sam.
With Astor O'Connor, who of course came off early in the game, which is a sad story. Astor, tell us what's happening here on your knee.
Yeah, sure. I've just been assessed by the docs and the physio, and we're still unsure, but went back out and gave it a go, but not a lot of support through the knee. So after the game, we'll have a scan and just see where we're at.
How disappointing for you to be in this position in what is the biggest game probably of your career?
It's not about me at all. It's all about the team, and we're so close here. We can win this, we believe. As Craig said, the last 40 minutes we've won, and all I want to do is see the Doggies get a win. So can't wait for the end.
Well, I hope this isn't too serious.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Great answer, Astor. You've got a future in diplomacy. Kick back towards the wing, Benici. Back from whence it came. So Brittany Benici just looking for an option down the line. Was a bit too high for Ernst. Bruton. Tackle just slipped high there from Loins. In fact, it's gone the other way. Fendoff slipped high and Loins will get the free kick.
Boynes has been great with 16 disposals so far, 5 tackles. She's been really working hard around the ground. So
she's got under that kick. Randall, run down from behind. Good tackle. Free kick goes to Talia Randall. One of the youngsters in this game, just 17 years of age, Talia, from Nambour Maroochydore, Queensland. Swanson wins the contested football. Gets it to Pearce. So composed with ball in hand, Daisy Pearce just takes her time to assess the option and generally chooses the right one. Bruton to Hooker. Tries to step around the tackle, can't do so. Great tackle from Hannah Scott, because there was danger looming for the Dogs there. Time starting to tick away. Over the top comes Pearce. Another scrap on centre wing and another bounce.
Wushner again, I mean, she just was able to affect the contest and then hold Daisy off getting a clean possession. So great effort from her today.
Arnell tracks the football. Coming the other way is Swanson.
It's really lovely to see so many of these young players really get into the game. 17 players here today have come out of the Youth Girls National Championships, and they're really making their mark today.
Definitely an elite pathway now starting to emerge in women's football, which is so important for our young girls that go through all the way to Auskick and they get to 12 years old and think, well, is that it for me? Well, no, it's not. You can keep playing football just as long as the boys can. Lots of options now. So many teams around Australia. Ashmore towards half forward. 711 female teams from juniors to seniors. So if you want to get involved in footy, afl.com.au/women's. That's the best place to go, isn't it, Shiloh?
Absolutely, and we are looking forward to what's coming next and how many, the investment in community football is massive out there, so there's no better time to join a team or create one of your own.
Or get involved behind the scenes as a trainer, as an administrator. Every footy club in the country is looking for people to get involved and help out. Baits taken high. Lots of opportunities to get that wonderful camaraderie and sense of belonging that football brings. Baits inside 50. Vescio across the front of the contest. Wraps up Pearce at ground level. Ball spills to Denellen. Tidy footwork buys herself some time. She delivers to Swanson. Swanson goes inboard. Dangerous kick. Zelke read it well but couldn't hold the mark. Busting through is Hannah Scott. Delivers to Hope on the bounce. Can she turn her opponent? She can. She bounces at goalwards. Awkward bounce. And it misses for a minor score, but that's the half chance that Moana Hope needs.
And absolutely great work from Hannah Scott there. We've got some fresh legs. She's running, she's active, she's making sure everyone knows that she's got plenty of energy left.
Halfway through the final term, it's a 10-point margin. Melbourne under pressure in their defensive 50. Once again, it's Pearce who stands tall. Just doesn't make many mistakes, Daisy Pearce, does she? She's had 28 possessions today. She's
one of the cleanest players in the game, whether it's in close or outside. Her decision-making is faultless.
Bowers to Green. Goes towards Randall, forced to spoil from behind on Kasler and did it well. At ground level now, Chelsea Randall uses her speed. Bates tries to run her down, gains some territory. Hutchins will float across the front of the contest. Reads it well, but now she needs an option. She goes up the middle to Zelke. It was a good kick. Needed to be. Now things opening up for the Dogs. Once again, it's Jess Wuchner. She's provided so much run and spread. She brings it inboard. Arnell to Kiochi. Wuchner kept running. Tries to get it over the top to Edwards. Bouncing ball's an awkward one. Chance now for Brennan at 50. Tries to slip a tackle. Can't do so. Holding the ball.
It's bad luck there. They were on then too and almost got the footy out there. Almost squeezed it out, Katie Brennan.
So the D's once again turn back the tide. A kick to the wing. Randall dragged down in the contest. Umpire spotted it. She'll take the free kick.
That's bad luck. Kasler's done a really good job on Randall today, I think.
Chelsea got away early, didn't she? She threatened to throw the game, to bust the game open.
Well, Chelsea's had to push up really high to get her possessions today. She hasn't been able to stay really deep, so she's had to run Kasler around a fair bit.
Bowers to Blackburn. Natalie Blackburn, 20-year-old, playing footy with Melbourne Uni. Three-time Youth Girls All-Australian goes inside 50. Harris was the target. That's a great mark over the top from Brianna Davey. And what an emerging young talent Brianna is. Former Matilda's goalkeeper. Goes short and finds Arnell. 12.5 minutes gone. Dogs need to get a bit of a move on. Time fast becoming the enemy. Brennan's got 2 to beat at ground level. He's taken to the line by Courtney Cramey. So Daisy Pearce, 29 possessions, as Sabrina Frederick-Traub watches on. And Daisy a midwife, and interestingly enough, her teammate Tiana Ernst is a trainee OBGYN. They work together at Box Hill Hospital during the week and play footy now for Melbourne on the weekend.
Yeah, there was a game earlier this year. The first time they played against each other, they then worked in the, I guess, in the surgery together and noticed each other and went, hang on, I know you from somewhere. I think we delivered a baby together. We were delivering a baby and played footy against each other yesterday. So, funny story.
Benici goes short to Elise O'Day. Melbourne happy just to soak up a little bit of clock here. This is Ellie Blackburn. 14th touch for Ellie coming up. Goes high, looking for Randall. Such a presence, Chelsea Randall. Just attracts the football. She is one of the real stars of the women's game. 3-time All-Australian, twice best and fairest in the WA League. Is Emma Swanson having a spell? Ernst at the front, picked off by Loynes, who's been one of the Bulldogs' best. That was a pretty hot whistle on Katie Loynes. Free kick going to Blackburn. Chance for the D's to put down the resistance inside 50. Harris versus Kasler. Ground level. Scott lays the tackle.
And well done by Kasler there. She saw that Harris got free. Brianna Davey had dropped off her, and she just dropped off her own player and covered Harris there and affected the contest.
No margin for error now for the Bulldogs. Carney. Scott tries to paddle to her own advantage. Hooker coming the other way. Loynes goes in low and hard on Bree White. Appeals for a free kick, but none forthcoming. Here is Bree White. 33-year-old from St Albans Spurs. State cricketer, played Gaelic football. Great sporting background is Gibson. Tries to get it to Carney. Bates in there working hard as well. Bruton putting the pressure on her, making sure she can't emerge with a clean possession. Can the Dogs make a late run? They need to break up this congestion and get open. Spread and score. Edwards tries to do just that to Ashmore, but again, the good defensive pressure comes from Melbourne. They just won't let them wriggle off the hook. Pearce taken down too high against Gibson.
Maybe Michelle Cowan's a bit worried that they can't actually win it off their own boot, that they're actually going to close the game down rather than actually try and attack and try and win it themselves.
Pearce to Blackburn. She goes inside 50 looking for Harris. The back of the contest, Benici a chance. It falls for Harris. Throws it on her boot. Snaps goalward, but misses the lot. So now a chance for the Dogs to set up from the back pocket. They've got to go, and they've got to go now.
Harris has been kept pretty quiet today, and from speaking to her last night, she was a little bit more worried about a fake tan than she was about how her performance is going to be today. So.
Brianna Davey thumps it long outside 50. Ernst over the top, influenced the contest. High tackle, Bulldogs ball. It's going to Hannah Scott. This is where they need to spread, create something. Scott wants to move it down the line, but the numbers once again with the D's. And once again, it's Pearce at the back in the right position to wrap it up. Vesky over the top of her and a ball up.
It's what Pearce does so well. She really drops off the contest. She knows where the ball is going to go next, and she plants herself in there and often takes so many uncontested marks just doing exactly that.
King, Loynes, pokes it forward. Gibson tried to slap it on. Here's Brennan. Clean hands from Brennan. Kasler tries to step around Randall. Back to Brennan. Late chance here for the Dogs. Hopes the target. And she takes the mark. She'll be able to run into an open goal. Maskell tries to hunt her down. She won't do so, and the Dogs are still alive. So confusion amongst the Melbourne defence. They bumped into each other, opened the door for Moana Hope. She kicks the goal. It's a 4-point game. About 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Critical clearance here for the Dogs. Can they get it going their own way? They can through Arnell. Standing tall is Miller. Takes a critical mark. Moves it on quickly, out into the path of Hooker. Got Anderson to beat, got a terrible bounce. A one-on-one becomes a 2-on-2 in a hurry as Green arrives. Zelke. Handball missed Edwards. Green might have been taken high, flips it out. Dogs have got numbers at the back of the contest. Well done, Bowers. Frederick Torb, she stripped of it. Umpire set a throw. Bulldog ball, 2 minutes left on the clock. Time running out, been told is less than 30 seconds on the clock. Randall, last chance for the Dogs. Vescio, can she take possession? Bentley does. Off a step, one last chance. Bates has got to get it and go. Must go quickly, Emily Bates. She doesn't know what's left on the clock. Hutchins, time runs out. Melbourne win again. Devastation for the Western Bulldogs. So close once again, but it's Melbourne extending their lead to 4-0. Melbourne 6-4-40. The Western Bulldogs 5-6-36. Let's head down to ground level. Here's Sam with Daisy Pearce. Had 30 possessions and 7 clearances.
With an elated Daisy Pearce, Melbourne captain. That is 4 from 4 for you guys.
Yeah, unbelievable. Another great game, and women's footy was the winner really on the day, and we had a really good start which set us up quite well, and we knew we'd have the run to go with them, but like we knew they would, the Dogs just kept coming, and hopefully we did our job in making it good viewing at home.
I think you did. You just asked me, do I have blood on my face? I think you've got leather poisoning, actually, if you want an amateur doctor's view. What's your record for touches? I think it was 30 today.
Oh, that's pretty good, I guess. We don't get to count them most weekends, so I think that's one of the things the girls love about playing at this level. We get to go in there and look at our stats, and all the vision that you guys will have created with Channel 7 will help us go away and work on our game as well. So 30's not bad, but I'd have to say I don't usually count them, and there's no one on the sidelines counting them either.
You can count them today, tell you that. Now tell us, what does this mean to you? We're standing on Etihad Stadium. They're playing the Melbourne Football Club song for you. Tell us the impact of this and how you're feeling about all that.
It's just an absolute dream come true. I mean, you said I've done it 4 times, but every time I do it, it means so much to me. And as a little girl growing up thinking I was going to play AFL and then realising that probably wasn't going to happen, to come out here and look down and see the AFL logo and see this red and blue jumper, a club that's really supported women's footy and supported our cause is a big thing. But I think I get the most pleasure about things like we did yesterday. We did an all-girls Auskick and junior girls clinic out at Gosh's Paddock, and to see those little girls looking up at us and thinking we're their AFL heroes, that's what means the most to me, because they're out there in the crowd today and they think they've got a bright future in footy, which they do.
Daisy, you're wearing it beautifully and you are inspiring women and girls everywhere. Thank you so much. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks for the coverage too. It'll make a big difference.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations to Daisy Pearce as we head down to the AFL's Master of Ceremonies, Craig Willis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've just viewed the second game between the Melbourne Football Club and the Western Bulldogs Football Club women's teams in a 2-match series for the 2015 Hampson-Hardeman Cup. What a fantastic display of football by both sides. Let's give them a round of applause. Wonderful, wonderful skills and just a great spectacle. Well done to the Melbourne Football Club on winning the match here this afternoon at Etihad Stadium. To present the medal for the player adjudged best on ground, let's welcome the chairman of the AFL Commission, Mr. Mike Fitzpatrick.
Thank you. On behalf of the AFL, just a magnificent exhibition of Australian rules football this afternoon. It was fast, it was very skillful and surprisingly tough. So well done, and well done to Melbourne on their win. The best player today was adjudged Daisy Pearce.
Firstly, a big thank you to the Western Bulldogs. Another really close contest, and you're getting closer. You've halved the margin again, so looking forward to another battle next time. To our girls, a really great standard of footy, and we played great team footy, which is what Michelle asked us to go out there and do, so it was great that it was able to get us the result on today. To the people that have turned up and watched, and those tuning in at home, thanks for your support. And to all those that are doing great things at grassroots football, keep the good work up, because there's special things coming in this space of women's football, and I hope we were able to showcase some of that today. Thank you.
Daisy, congratulations. Well, back on the 24th of May, the Melbourne Football Club defeated the Bulldogs by 8 points to take the series lead. With today's result, I'd like to call upon Barb Hampson and Lisa Hardeman, two women's football pioneers for whom this series is named, to come forward to present the winning trophy to the Melbourne Football Club, to the captain, Daisy Pearce, and the coach, Michelle Cowan.
Wonderful, thank you very much. First of all, thanks to the Western Bulldogs, just a brilliant showcase there of female football, and big thank you to the umpires, to the AFL for your support. It's an exciting time for female football, and we can just see that with what's going to be on the horizon for these girls and all the young girls out there that are playing this great game. Well done to Melbourne Football Club, coaching team and all the support staff. A brilliant contest and just an absolute spectacle. So thank you very much for coming out and watching and supporting today.
Congratulations to Melbourne. Daisy Pearce and Michelle Cowan hoist the cup on what really is a red-letter day for women's football. The first ever national telecast of a women's game is wonderful enough. But then on top of that, the wonderful news today announced this morning that there's going to be a professional women's league coming to play from 2017. Very exciting times. Congratulations to all who have been involved in women's football over the journey. Enjoy this moment, as the Melbourne girls certainly are. Thanks very much for your company this afternoon. We really appreciate it. It was a landmark day in Australian football and a great game to pay it off. Melbourne home in the end by 4 points. On behalf of Shiloh Curtis, Julia Price, Sam Lane, the entire 7 production team, I'm Jason Bennett. Thanks for watching. Stick around for the Western Bulldogs and Melbourne's AFL clash from Etihad Stadium right here on 7.